Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. It could be a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overhearing somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be featuring the case of 22-year-old Deonte Ballard. On May 15th, 2015, Deonte Ballard, a hardworking family man who always had a smile on his face, was at his house visiting with his cousin. Later that night, a group of individuals came over to the house, and during a conversation between Deonte and one of the individuals pulled out a gun and fired multiple shots, striking Deonte and his cousin. Here's his story.
He was a good kid growing up. Can't complain about that. Deonte was funny. Everything, he just made you smile no matter what was going on.
He was just such a happy person. He's a family person. He loved to be around his family.
He was my friend. He was my everything, man. Every day I was with him. Every day he was with me. You didn't see him without seeing me.
His big brother, yeah, that was his role model. He wanted to do everything Bill do. Like Bill rap, he wanna rap. Bill do something, he wanna do it. His sister, they real close. It's only them three.
We always been together. We never separated. He always called me, make sure I was okay. And he was just a happy person.
Deonte had a great personality. He was always happy. He was a peacemaker.
Bright, outgoing, the biggest smile. That's the first thing you notice is smile. You talk to him, he always smiling. He just wanted to make everybody else happy. He wanted everybody else to be in a good mood when he around, because he always in a good mood.
Everybody loved him, like everybody. Everyone wanted to be around him.
He'll do anything for us, and he loved kids. Like all the little kids knew Deonte.
Anytime you call him, he would come, no matter what he's doing. You can count on Deonte, anytime. He was so smart at stuff, like computers and stuff. I don't even know how he got it, but he was smart at it, and they would call him up and ask him to come help him out with it, and he was there.
Music just brightened his eyes up. When music come on and he around, everybody notice him, he jumping around.
The boy was talented. Deonte was so talented at rapping. He has a lot of songs. It's all on YouTube and stuff, and he's just good at what he do.
Deonte liked to rap. He was a great basketball player.
Yeah, we all play basketball together. But Deonte, the one that made me start playing basketball. Me and my two brothers, we'll just go play basketball.
It get real crazy when we play basketball, real competitive. Especially me and him. Like we same age, always together. So real competitive when it comes to basketball.
That was like our main thing to do as a family, go play basketball. We'll get all our cousins and we all just play basketball all the time. He just thought he was the best. When he first started playing, he was so little, but he was always playing with the big people. And he just became a beast. Like, he just became a monster on the court.
He was a hard worker. He was dedicated to his work.
He trying to get his CDLs like me, and he wanted to follow my footsteps, which I'm so happy he did.
Deonte just wanted to be just like my dad, basically. He's a family person. He loves to be around his family. He would call family members every day just to see what they're doing, come hang out with him, you know, to take care of his children, to have our back like he did. Like, he wanted to be just like my dad.
You see it in him, and you know he can do it, and he wanted to do it. So yes, I was totally robbed of that.
We was like best friends. Like, I looked at him also as my son because my dad took care of us really. My mom wasn't really there, so I was like the woman of the house. We never been separated from each other, so now us being separated is like broken us up. Felt like I lost a part of me, you know?
Everything would have been better if this situation wouldn't have happened.
On May 15, 2015, detectives received information that a subject had been shot at 1220 Etna Street. Detectives responded to the area. Responding officers advised that there was a second deceased victim located at 1234 Etna Street by the name of Deonte Ballard.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On May 15, 2015, detectives received information that a subject had been shot at 1220 Etna Street. Detectives responded to the area. Responding officers advised that there was a second deceased victim located at 1234 Etna Street by the name of Deonte Ballard.
I went to work that night, the day before that night, and I didn't come back to Indiana that night. I just stayed at a family member's house. Deonte called me and was like, I just woke up, you know, somebody tried to burn our house down.
In the early AM hours of May 15, 2015, the Gary Fire Department responded to 1234 Etna Street in reference to a structure fire.
He told me that he was asleep, and he said he woke up and he thought maybe he left something cooking in the kitchen because the smoke alarm in our house went off.
He heard the dog going crazy, so he went downstairs and seen the smoke coming from under the door.
As soon as he opened the front door, it's like our porch was on fire, so he just closed the front door. And he said he ran to the basement to get our dog, and they ran out the back together. He called the fire people, and he straight tried to call my dad.
He's laughing on the phone and like, oh, Dad, they tried to burn the house down. I don't know what's going on, but I got the dog. That's all I can remember. I got the dog, and we cool. We just thought it was a simple situation. Fire, and basically that was it.
At this time, we believe that the fire was intentionally set as the fire was contained to the front porch area of the residence.
I was on my way to my home, but I just turned around and just went to the house to check on him. Like, what's wrong? You know, when I get there, he's smiling. He's like, man, somebody done burned up the crib, man. So I told him to come to my house when he get off work. And that's what I thought he was gonna do, but he never came.
Deonte, he not really the one to go in detail to make a big fuss about something. He just said, it was just a little fight. It wasn't really nothing major.
I ended up coming back to the crib later that night. As I was leaving the crib, because I thought he was asleep, he looked out his window and was like, where you going? I'm like, I'm about to go back home. Why you ain't come back to my crib like we told you to? He was like, man, I'm good. You know, I was tired. I just came home and laid down. I'm like, man, be good. He's like, man, I'm good. And I just pulled off. And when I was pulling off, it just felt funny because when I was pulling off, he just stayed in the window. He was just looking at me in the window.
It appears that everything was normal. He had been spending time with his girlfriend as well as several friends and family members throughout the day.
We actually made plans to go out that same night. That's when all the crazy stuff happened.
At some point later in the evening, there was a knock at the door, and Mr. Ballard opened the front door. Multiple subjects entered into the residence.
Some dudes that was his friends. He said they was his friends. I don't know what they was over there for, but they came over there like 5 or 6 of them. And I looked back, they had guns out. They just started shooting, started scrambling. It happened so fast. First shot hit me in my face and I fell. And I could see my little cousin trying to run from the bullet, but they was hitting him all in his back and on his neck. He ended up falling. He fell on top of me, and then they ended up leaving. I got up, but he was still like blinking. I tried to pick him up in my legs. I didn't notice I got shot so much in my leg. When I tried to pick him up, I felt the crack in my bones, so and then when I tried to pick him, I just told him, hold on, wait, I'm gonna go get help, because I'm trying to use my phone, but the blood, I didn't notice I got shot in my face, and the blood is steady coming on my phone, so I couldn't swipe or nothing, so I ended up walking to my brother's house. I stayed two houses over. I just collapsed and I told him, like, man, Deonte's still over there.
After the living victim was able to escape, he ran for help where family members called 911. Detectives received information that a subject had been shot at 1220 Etna Street. I walked the area where I observed a blood trail leading from the stairs of 1234 Etna Street outside of the residence.
Get halfway where we're going, I start getting calls. They said, your son in there, he not coming out. They not bringing him out. Right then I knew.
I rushed from Chicago to Indiana and I was praying the whole time, you know, that everything was fine, but it was too late.
My mind was just getting there as quick as I could. Couldn't get there quick enough.
I spoke with the responding officer and he advised me of a male deceased subject by the name of Deonte Ballard, located inside the kitchen.
I didn't hear my phone because I had my radio so loud, but when I finally looked at my phone, I had a lot of missed calls, a lot of text messages. My pops called, he's screaming like, where you at, where you at, where you at, get home. I'm like, what's wrong? He was just like, he dead.
All I really remember is trying to get into the house. They still had it taped off. They finally let me in, he wasn't there. And the scene was gruesome. In my living room at the table, all you see was blood. Blood everywhere, the couches, the tables, the walls.
I ended up going into a coma for a couple weeks. Woke up, and that's when they told me he was gone.
On May 15, 2015, detectives received information that a subject had been shot at 1220 Etna Street. Detectives responded to the area. Responding officers advised that there was a second deceased victim located at 1234 Etna Street by the name of Deonte Ballard.
I just dropped down, I couldn't move, I couldn't do nothing. So I just stood there the whole night.
It hurt me because I'm the oldest. And I was supposed to be there with him.
There was so many emotions. I can't even recall all the emotions I got. I had emotions I'd never felt before. You should not have to witness your son or daughter death.
As I arrived, I observed a trail of blood leaving out of the residence on the stairs. There was a trail of blood throughout the house as well as multiple shell casings throughout the area.
But before the detectives got there, I was already on my way to the hospital. So when I woke up, I was already in Chicago. They shot here to the helicopter.
Detectives traveled to a area hospital located in Chicago. The victim was interviewed multiple times. He did provide a description on the subjects.
I couldn't talk because I had tools in my throat, so they had a notepad. I was writing down on a notepad. I'm steady asking, like, damn, where Deonte? What happened? Did he make it? Because he was still breathing. When I left him, I told him I was going to come back for him. My brother finally came out and told me he didn't make it.
We're here where the shooting took place of Mr. Deonte Ballard. Mr. Ballard resided at 1234 Etna Street, which is right here to my right. As you can see, there's multiple duplex units on this side of the street. On the other side of the street, there is single-family dwelling homes. Mr. Ballard was shot inside of the residence there. As you can tell here by the discoloration of the siding's been replaced, but this is where the fire was started in the early morning hours on the day of his murder. Mr. Ballard was located inside the residence here, and after the shooting, the suspects, we believe, left on foot. Witnesses report hearing someone say, "Run, run, run."
Nothing is the same, like with the faith and our family. Our family like kind of separated.
That was my baby brother. He didn't do nothing to nobody. All he did was try to help people. And for somebody to take his life, I just don't understand. I still don't understand that.
Emotionally, it just gets to you and they can't handle it. We never been through anything like this. It kind of broke us apart then. But now, as time is passing, we're getting back together. We're learning to love each other more.
Even when he was looking out the window, I didn't even say bye. I just pulled off. So that hurt me even more, you know. I should have said something.
Then by it happening in our house, we don't feel comfortable with being at home anymore. We haven't been at home since.
Like, I go in there, if I go in the house, I can't be in there. 2 or 3 minutes, I got to step back out.
I just got into a depressed mode. I didn't want to go to work anymore. I let all my bills build up. It's just, I be hurt, I be angry, and I try to stay positive.
Be catching myself, crying at work. I be seeing people that look like my brother, and it bothers me all the time.
It's dead like a rock. I only see them cry one time in the situation like.
He's my motivation to stay positive and move on, because we have to live our lives. My dad, because he's a very positive person. He don't show us no hurt, him crying or anything.
They see me breaking down, that would make them break down even more. So I got my times when they're not around, I would get up and I would go in the room, and they don't know it, but that's my time. Or like when I'm driving the truck and I get up early, 3 in the morning to go to work, and when I'm on this dark road, all I can really think about is my boy, and it gets to me.
He was at the point in his life where he was just happy. Like, when you get to that age where, like, man, I'm happy, I'm older, I'm doing me, I'm, having a nice life. And for somebody to just come snatch that all away from you. After the funeral, I used to always sleep in my living room in front of all his pictures and stuff, just so I can have a dream about him. And I still ain't had no dream about him. So that's messing me up, because I just want to talk to him one time.
His birthday was December 23rd, but it was so hot outside, it felt so good outside on his birthday. It shouldn't have felt that good outside for December. We just partied all night. And I know he was there with us that day.
At this time, God wanted him. Maybe he needed him to fix some computers up in heaven for him. It's the only thing I can think of.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
Earlier in the day, there was a fire at Mr. Ballard's residence. It appears that that fire was intentionally set. After that fire was extinguished, it appears that Mr. Ballard went on with his daily activities, meeting with his girlfriend and several friends. A short time later in the evening, that's when Mr. Ballard received a knock on the door from subjects who we believe he knew. He opened the door and let these subjects into his residence, and shortly thereafter he was shot and murdered.
I pray every day that we at least solve, his case. All the pain that we still have going on, we can't let it go because we don't have the justice, I don't feel that he's at peace because we're like a mess, trying to figure out what is our next step to help the case. And
our family ain't been the same since this happened. Like, we don't hang out as much as we used to, we don't talk as much as we used to. Y'all wrong, man. Y'all wrong. Y'all don't even know how many lives y'all affected.
Right now, there's just so much going on. Nobody has closure to this. They're still going through a lot. I'm still going through a lot. Sometimes they would say, Dad, we should have never moved out there. But it's not the fact of moving out there, it's just bad people in the world.
Because that's what I believe my family need right now is closure for us to move forward.
I receive phone calls from the victim's family on a weekly basis, both from his mother and father, who are always inquiring about the case and asking if there's any new leads.
It messed up so many people, man. So many people. If my brother was sitting right here right now, I'd tell my little brother, man, I love you, man. I really do, man. Like, you know how much I used to just go looking for you when you was gone for a few hours, so you've been gone this long. You know how I feel, man.
You just took my cousin, like you just took a whole person from us.
If the person is watching that killed Deonte, I would want to say, turn yourself in, please. Even if you don't turn yourself in here, justice will be served. If not by the police, God will serve his purpose when you get there.
At this time, detectives are asking anyone with information to please come forward and help further our investigation. We're asking the public's help in locating anyone who may have seen anybody run from the area or flee from the area or shooting or yelling.
I would be very greatly appreciated, like, if they do tell the police. Like, I just want his justice, because this was like premeditated murder. I would be happy if that person will come forward and tell the truth about what he did. You know, I might be angry, but I will forgive that person just for coming forth and giving us some closure, you know?
Get in touch with Detective Gonzalez. Pass the information on. Come forward. Nobody shouldn't have to go through this. Nobody. If anybody knows anything, please come forward.
If anybody got any information to what happened to my little brother, Deonte Ballard, could you please help us out, because we really need it. We really need that. I really appreciate it. My family will appreciate it. If y'all can just help us out just a little bit, anything.
We need your help. Help us out. Give us closure. That's all I ask. We need that.
We are asking anyone to call the Lake County Metro Homicide Unit at 219-755-3852 or the Gary Police Department Anonymous Tip Line at 1-866-CRIME-GP. Information can also be left at the Northwest Indiana Major Crimes Task Force website at nwimajorcrimes.com.
Just tell somebody. Let somebody know something.
Deonte used to call me every day, and he didn't want nothing, and it would irk me. Like, why are you calling me, man? and nothing, Dad. I just wanted to talk to you. If Deonte was here right now, I would say, I wish you called me today.
The cases featured on tonight's episode remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any of the cases featured on the show, please give the detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods safe again.